Pound Devil, on the bill.
Well, the significance of Charlie Patton cannot be understated. Charlie is a force of nature. Incredible voice. It's kind of like a masking style where you create a character with a voice and then you comment on what this character is doing. You know? Roll power Charlie. Roll Charlie down the line. Well, what do you do then?
When it's gonna take him down, Lord have mercy.
It was like he was playing all the parts, everything. It was almost like a musical play, you know, where he was singing all the different parts of the characters in it, or side comments. And if you listen to the music, it always has that lope, you know. You look at some of these guys and you go like, okay, so what does this guy do all day long? All day long, he's got two mules, and they're just going up and down the field, plowing. That was the only way they did it. They didn't have a tractor. But all of that's in the music.
I went away to Walana.
Born in 1841 in Edwards, Mississippi, Charlie Patton, also known as the father of the Delta Blues, would become one of the most known blues artists across the nation. Known for his insane skill of playing, Charlie, although his name be written in different ways, was considered to have a mixture of white and black ancestry, even though many myths say he was also part Cherokee, to cover up how his mother might have been raped or had some type of connection with a white man, making Charlie seem like a mixture of both, and many didn't want to believe that. This mix of heritage was stated in many of his songs, including Down the Road Blues, The Nation, and many others. During his childhood, Charlie and his family moved to Dockery Farms in 1897, where Charlie learned to first play the guitar and fell in love with music. Charlie first started working as a sharecropper, which he hated, and was determined to leave the racial discrimination in the South behind. This inspired him to write his first songs, also including Down the Dirt Road Blues. During his teenage years, Charlie performed at Dockery Farms and other plantations nearby. He later formed an association with another promising musician named Willie Brown. Charlie became a great mentor to many other local musicians such as Chester Burnett, Tommy Johnson, Fiddling Joe Martin, and so on. Charlie's emotional sway held his audience, causing him to be tossed off multiple plantations because of workers leaving their crops unattended and rather listening to him play. Charlie was also known to be a showman as well, spinning his guitar, playing it behind his head, and slapping it for rhythmic effect. He also preached and played at many churches, including Jerusalem MB Church. Although he was known as a Delta blues artist, Charlie also played many different genres, including a variety of white and black country dance music, as well as hillbilly songs. In 1929, he got a chance to first record after auditioning for Henry Spear, a white music store owner. Spear contacted Paramount Records to set up a recording session in Richmond, Indiana. Here he recorded 14 sides, one of which was Pony Blues, his first song to be released, and became his trademark tune. Until 1934, he recorded many of his most popular songs, including Down the Dirt Road Blues, High Water Everywhere, Shake It and Break It, and Moon's Going Down. Through the peaks of his career, after many problems, he traveled and performed along the Mississippi River, Missouri, Tennessee, Illinois, and Georgia. He was very observant of racial discrimination in the southern parts of the U.S. and wrote songs narrating how passionate he was to change the life of African American suffering and racial living conditions. In many situations, he was also wanted by many people, both black and white, to sing and play for special events. At one point, he was kidnapped while on his porch by two white men because they wanted him to play at a wedding of theirs, but Charlie refused, saying he was already booked for the night. So they took him in their truck along with his guitar, and he played at their wedding on a bridge.
This is Honey Boy Edwards, and I was born in Shore, Mississippi in 1915, and I played guitar. My father played guitar and violin, and my mother played harmonica, and my name is Honey Boy Edwards, and that's about whatever. This is me. Charlie Patton, he was Indian. He dressed clean, wore his hair out, curled to the side. He's Indian. Yeah, he had some good-looking women. I used to go with one of his women. Well, he was attracted at the time because he made calls that didn't too many people make. But Charlie Patton called him the Fond of the Delta. He was a good blues player back in that time, and his name was ringing all through the Delta, Charlie Patton, Charlie Patton.
In Charlie's short lifetime, on the other hand, he married 8 times, with his last wife being Bertha Lee. Since Charlie was also an alcoholic and had problems controlling his temper, they had multiple fights. Later in their marriage, they were sent to a Belzoni, Mississippi jailhouse until they were bailed out by W.R. Calloway of Vocalion Records because they were being suspected for a murder that had occurred at the party the day before. They were taken to New York City so that Charlie would then record one of his last sessions before his death. Charlie Patton later died of a heart failure on April 28, 1934, near Indianola, Mississippi. He was a great influence to all of those who followed him, and to this day is and will always be known as the first great Delta blues man.